Hello, good evening to this beautiful Thursday evening. And yes, I know there's a lot of disappointed because India versus New Zealand didn't take off, but we have an amazing Facebook Live coming in where we're gonna talking about we being the entrepreneurial you, what it takes to be an entrepreneur. Yes, an entrepreneur's life is that of being a ninja out there in a warrior's world. Isn't it so? As entrepreneurs, we face so many challenges. Yeah, so in some context we can actually be compared our lives to that of a warrior's life. And it's not just an ordinary warrior's life, but it's to succeed and thrive in this world, it's about being a ninja warrior out there. And to talk more about what it is to be a ninja in an entrepreneur world, I'm going to be getting Coach Guna very soon onto the live. Yes. Today we're going to be talking about the challenges in the entrepreneur's world and how we can overcome these challenges by being more self aware in this entrepreneur's world. So, without any delay, let me bring in Guna onto the show. Hey, good evening, Guna.
Good evening, Leela. Good evening, all the viewers. It's great to be back for the second part of this interview with Leela. Yeah.
Yes, this was promised by Guna. We had Guna coming in about 2 months back onto the show, and he had promised to do the entrepreneurial piece. And today is the beautiful evening when Guna is going to be talking as an entrepreneur coach. For all those of you who don't know Guna, Guna is the author of the book Startup Recipe, again launched by none other than the mighty Jack Canfield himself. I had the honor of being in his launch program, and it was just great, brilliant to have Jack Canfield do that and talk about the book Startup Recipe. And the reason why I've invited Guna onto the show is Guna and me work very closely. Guna kind of uses our Entrepreneurial You program while working with his coaches. And Guna is somebody who has written about innate talents in his book. That is the first chapter in his book, Startup Recipe. So, Guna, um, we would like to know why is that the very first chapter in your book? Why did you choose to write on innate talents?
Okay. From my experience and also understanding a lot of successful gurus, what I understood is it is more than the product or a service or the business plan or the target market, etc. It is the person who do any business is very, very important. The attitude of the person, the vision of the person, the characteristics of the person. So I thought first it is always better to understand ourselves before we start a business, because otherwise we will be wasting a lot of time to understand ourselves. Usually, without these kind of tools, it will take few years to understand. I thought I should start my book as the first chapter itself is like, what are your strengths? So that first they'll focus on that, then they'll focus on the other part of the business.
Wow. And Guna is somebody who turned out to be an entrepreneur at the age of 18. Am I right, Guna?
Yeah. Yes.
And
During my second year of college, yes.
during your second year of college.
Yes.
Guna, if you would have known, and here's somebody who has done the Entrepreneurial You program completely with Young Ovation. Guna, if you knew it when you were starting your business when you were 18, would you do things differently? Would you be, kind of playing the whole game in a lot more different way?
Definitely, I would have saved a lot of time. That's what I would say. Like what I've achieved now, I would have achieved a few years back, and like it will be in a different level by now.
And look at him, okay? He's saying, what I've achieved now, I would have achieved a few years back. And the person sitting here has trained at least more than 40,000 business owners and entrepreneurs, Guna.
Yeah, more than yeah.
Yeah. And he's saying he could have done that much earlier. And if I'm not wrong, you run multiple businesses, including the Flying Rainbow Art School.
Yes.
and of course your real estate business.
Yes.
Okay, so you feel all this would have the success that you're sitting on today, you would have kind of occurred to you many years before, is what you
Yeah,
feel, is
if
it?
I had such kind of a tool like way before, like 10, 12 years before, maybe I would have managed more businesses than now, because I would have understood my strengths earlier in my career, and it would have helped me for sure.
Wow, buddy. That's the message for you all out here. By knowing your talent themes, you're able to be a lot more powerful in your business. And as Guna rightly said, your productivity is going to be 10x. And obviously, when your productivity is 10x, you can handle multiple things and you can grow 10x. Isn't that Guna?
Of course, yes.
Superb. Hey, Guna, you've worked so much with entrepreneurs. We're kind of curious to know what is it to be in the entrepreneurial world. Yes, I am in the entrepreneurial world, but I am handling only one business, that is Young Ovation. Since you handle multiple, you coach so many people who are into multiple businesses, what are the main challenges of entrepreneurs, Kuna?
There are a lot of challenges for any entrepreneur. To name few is like, one of the major challenges, the lack of sales which they are facing. They don't know when their next sale is going to happen, because most of them don't have control on their sales. Like, they got some sales, they got some money, but they don't know when is the next sale, when is the next sale. So they lack in, because there is no consistency in marketing. So
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of entrepreneurs who just open the shop, open the business, and they wait for the clients, and there is no process for them to generate leads or generate potential clients. And other challenges, to name a few, are like the time management by the entrepreneur, the money management, especially because to a lot of people who make a lot of money, again, they face challenge because they don't know when to spend, for what to spend, and the right amount to be spent for each area. Instead, when we are getting more funds, we are lavishly spending, and when we have less funds, no, we are very very good at money management, because entrepreneurs are very good when they have very little money, because they know only this much they have and they have to do everything. So if
Mm-hmm.
they have the same attitude when they have more money, that will really help any entrepreneur to become successful. And the other challenge which we can tell is the employee retention. Like, people are not staying in the company. I see the major reason behind is the employees are not seeing any big learning which will help them for their future. They get paid for their work, it's fine, but nowadays people are not ready to only for salary. They are looking some learning. They want something to learn new every single day, and they want to go to the next level in their life. Only then they are ready to continue in the same organization. Otherwise, they are ready to go somewhere else where the learning is good, even the income is less. So likewise,
Got it.
we can talk about challenges of entrepreneur for the whole day, but I don't think we have that much time. These are few challenges. Yes.
Yeah, Guna. So, I mean, I completely get the kind of challenges that entrepreneurs go through, and how we kind of really, when they go through the Gallup Strength Finder, they're able to get exactly how their thinking talents are, how their executional talents are, how their relationship building talents are. Okay, so how do they build
Yes.
great relationship, and more importantly, how they influence people. And when people
Yes.
get an awareness of how they're wired, they're they're
Yes.
more comfortable in, you said, time management. So okay,
Yeah.
how do I use my talent teams to manage time? So if somebody has a responsibility as a talent team, then he would kind of see as to how, because he has given this commitments to this work, and his, it means a lot to him that he is keeping up to his word. So he will
Correct.
obviously get back and work around the time schedule so that we can manage. So this is how
Yeah.
beautifully.
To tell you an example where I have a person, I have two different people who wants to do marketing for their business, but based on team, they understood that they can't do the same kind of marketing based on their strengths. They are good at different things. One is good at relationship building, because the relationship teams and influencing teams are very high. So he's for kind of more of networker, and use and leverage network for growing his business. The other guy is an analytical guy who spends more time online doing digital marketing, and he makes more leads. He generate more leads out of that. So based on talent, they can use in their own challenge whichever they are facing right now,
So,
if they know
so
it.
very beautifully said, Guna. And uh, the cases that Guna has been mentioning is, I kind of relate to them, because one person, as he very rightly said, has very high influencing talents and relationship building talents. He can literally, he has woo as a talent team winning others over, where he can go and he can, even with a pool of unknown people, he can go and be himself, connect so beautifully, network, and kind of make meaningful relationship as well, because he has a relator plus. Oh, and in another case, this guy is very analytical, as Guna very rightly said. It's not just being analytical, but he's also very strategic about it. He's all about data, he's all about numbers, he's all about, strategizing, understanding
Exactly.
where the customers are, and then how do you kind of connect with them. So eh, very beautifully said, Guna. It's like, how do you connect? See, both of them are marketeers. They really want to make money, yeah, and they want to
Yeah.
connect to the right set of target audience so that they can sell and products or produce. But the approaches are so different. So it's about, the intention is to bring in leads and target conversion, and the approaches can be different, and it's so aligned with their strengths.
Yes.
Very beautiful, Guna. Very beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to ask you one super question. Next question. Um, you have used us in a lot of your coaching assignments, right? Why do you do that? I mean, I know why you do it, but I want you to share with the viewers as to why is it that the first thing you begin with, and especially with startups, okay, with people who are beginning their business, because you,
Understood.
the name of your book is also startup recipe.
Yes.
So, Guna,
Yes.
if you can tell us what are the challenges that these guys go through, and why is it that you first put them on to this program even before you begin
Okay.
coaching?
Okay. So the book started with a vision which I had 2 years back, where I want to create 1 million entrepreneurs through various coaching, through my book, through my talk, through my blog, article, etc. So that's the focus. Though I have been creating entrepreneurs for the last 14 years, in the last 2 years, I'm taking a more like vigorous steps towards it to create 1 million entrepreneurs. So when it comes to coaching my clients, what is coaching? Like, coaching helps them save some time, because if they start their business on their own, they will be spending unnecessarily, they'll be doing a lot of mistakes, spending a lot of time and energy and money, and then they'll be learning certain things. So coaching can help them save a lot of time, money, and energy. Starting with strengths, mapping their talent mapping will definitely help them to do the same, because they can save a lot of time on understanding themselves. Because as I told you, it took me many years to understand my own talents to go to the next level. Whenever I understood my strength, I moved to the next level. But unfortunately, I didn't add any tool to do it faster. But now, what I want to do for my students is, first, I want to make them to understand about what are their talents, what are their specialities, and if they are not good at something, how can they develop? Because it's going to work in both ways. If your talents are, sometimes your talents going to help you, sometimes your talents are going to stop you from doing something. To bring
So
you to an example, let me share one of the example which I had with my recent coachee. The fundamental problem always he had is, when I first spoke to him, he always said that I get frustrated on myself because I keep procrastinating things. Always I postpone things, I don't take action, I don't do anything. I want to do a lot of things, but I'm not doing it. So this is what he mentioned when we had the first call. But after understanding his test, after doing the talent mapping, of course, with you, what we understood is, it is one of his talent which looks for perfection, which looks for complete analyzing. Then I told him, like, this talent is very good for many things, but not for taking some actions, because it may prevent you from moving ahead. It will always expect you to look for perfection, which is not for good for a entrepreneur, especially for an aspiring entrepreneur. So now he knows he should not expect perfection in certain things. In certain things, it's okay, but not in everything you should expect perfection. By understanding this alone, saving him a lot of time, and mostly he got some confidence. Like, okay, so far whatever I thought as a problem is not actually a problem anymore, and it is going to help me in a different way. This is what he understood. So this is one example to bring it to you.
Just so that the viewers know what exactly Guna is talking, see, we all are blessed with our talents. These are some things that come so naturally to us. But these are also something like a double-edged sword, some of them, okay? It's like they end up sometimes being our weaknesses. Why do I call them as our weaknesses? When a talent is misappropriately used, it becomes a weakness. So what Guna is saying is, I know this Kochi whom he is talking of, he wanted to be that perfectionist out there, get everything right, and then step out and and then he'll take his feedback, he'll come again, and he will so rightly said, as an entrepreneur you don't have that time, that window of free time
Exactly.
available, that you
Yes.
can actually, not a lab environment, it's not a simulated environment, you're on the field and you're being bold. So it's either up to you how you face the ball and hit it into a six, or you just get stumped and just walk out, right? So this is how Guna started coaching, because he knew the pulse of his coaches so beautifully. He started working with him, and he kind of was able to help him not to fall in his own strength trap. In
Yes.
other words, his own weaknesses. And
Hmm.
but to play that beautifully where and when it is required. That is where the awareness should come in. Yes, for example, in my case, I have talent teams of I am very highly strategic, I have futuristic, I have communication, I have maximizer, I have responsibility. But this responsibility is a talent team which was a double-edged sword in my case. Yeah, because I used to take on more, and I used to be it's like that emotional psychological connect with my work, that I used to make myself guilty, I used to make myself go bad when I don't deliver it the way I wanted to deliver it. And because of that, I kind of started becoming very conscious of saying yes to things. Yeah, but when I got to know that, yes, I am responsible and I'm going to do my best onto it, I started choosing the kind of task to which I wanted to say yes, and prioritizing it beautifully. And it's okay to say no to a few things because it's not on my priority list.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's how you manage your talent teams, because when I say yes to it, I'm going to go all out and give my best shot to it.
Yes.
But rather than saying yes to everything and not getting the quality and not really crying over because I didn't deliver what I wanted to deliver, and being hollow inside, rather than that, I might as well choose, say, 5 instead of 10, but I deliver that beautifully. And that I thrive because I get that emotional satisfaction of a job well done.
Yes.
So beautiful, Guna, beautiful. Superb, Guna. So my next question to you, Guna, is I wanted you to just share a little about the kind of confusion that people, because you work with a lot of employee to entrepreneur transition. So can you
Yes.
talk a little about some of the confusions that these guys go through, and how you kind of cradle them?
A lot of confusions there. And before that, when we start talking to them about this talent mapping, strength tests, etc., many have this question in their mind, like, if I don't have a certain talent, is it that I can't do that business? Because I'm thinking about doing a particular business, I already have an idea. Is it that if I don't have that strength, I can't do my business? Because they understood it in a different way. Then I told them it is not about directly impacting your business. The strength is not directly relevant to your business. Its strength is going to tell you what kind of person you are, and you can do whatever business you want. For example, one guy who walked in, like, he told me, I want to do social marketing, whatever my talent strengths are. Is it okay? Is it possible? I said, don't worry about it. You are going to do social media marketing business. Don't worry about it. But first, let us understand your talents. I also told him that if you are into social media, it is not always you have to do it in the same way. You can do it in a different way. For example, if you are
Exactly.
very good at social marketing, you can create certain products and you can sell by yourself, or you can become a digital marketing agency, or you can become a coach where you teach others on how to do digital marketing. So we will find out what strengths you have. So basically, based on that, we will take your business to the next level. This is what I told him, and he got completely satisfied. Okay, now I am really excited about knowing my strengths. So these are some doubts which they have with respect to this talent mapping, but generally they have a lot of doubts. Mostly, one of the major challenge which they face is fear of unknown. I don't know anything about business. This is totally a new area for me. How do I manage? Will my idea work? People will
Hmm.
accept my product or service? Because mostly we see people telling that I don't have money to start a business, but it is not the actual reason why they are not starting. Everybody can arrange money if they want, but the problem is
Yeah.
the fear of loss, fear of unknown, fear of rejection, which stopping them from starting some businesses. So they come up with a lot of doubts and questions, but few of them get answered when we do this exercise of talent mapping itself, because they get some confidence after this test.
So basically, for the viewers, you know what we do? We help them understand each of their talent themes and how each talent team serves them. So, like how Guna is saying, once they get to know, okay, for example, in Guna's case, I'm just going to put up his good talent teams on the show. Yeah. So, Guna, knowing that you had this beautiful futuristic in you, how did it help you in your outlook in this coaching business of mentoring people?
Okay, this futuristic is something where we think ahead of time, where we think about what is going to happen in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. So it not only helps in one particular area, it helps in all the area of my business, especially when it comes to the coaching business. I can think about a future growth and development of a particular idea which my client is having, because they come
Wow.
up with a lot of crazy ideas. Sometimes the approach which I get from futuristic strength is like, I don't want them to do that business, better change the business. Sometimes I encourage them to do, because sometimes the way they think, the idea which they have is not going to work. It will work, but they'll not make profit out of it. It is a good business, they will run it, they can tell outside that I am doing a fantastic business, but they'll not make money out of it. So I tell them, please don't do this. So these are talents which help me to find such things.
So that gives you so much more confidence as a coach yourself, right?
Definitely, I'm saving a lot of money for them. Otherwise, they would have been
Exactly.
spending all the money, and once it fails, then they will understand, okay, why this business got failed. And
So this
many
is the
startups,
beauty,
even
guys.
now, even after years, few startups, they got failed in a business and they don't even understand why they failed. But these startups whom I'm coaching with, they, in the first place, they get very clear on what to do in the next 1 year, 2 year, 3 years.
So what you bring in is clarity, and how you bring in is clarity is by helping them know what their strengths are and how they can play to their strengths, and by helping them know what their weaknesses are and how they can manage their weakness in the first level. And
Correct.
then I know you get deep into the business. That's something really nice about Guna. He gets into every single detail along with his coachee on their business so beautifully that it's literally that hand holding. Okay, that is what gives confidence. And a few of my friends who have taken Guna's support amazingly credit him for that. They're like, Guna is such an awesome coach, because you feel you're not just doing it alone. Because as most of the business owners, we have this feeling that, oh my god, we're all alone doing this. But having a coach like Guna by your side, you know that, okay, I'm playing this game, but yes, I have a coach who's watching me, watching my back. And it's like, even if I fall, I know it is not going to be really bad, because uh, it's a fall for me to learn, and it's not a fall that will kind of literally take me off the game.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that's the beauty of it, Guna. And you're an awesome coach, and I'm so glad that you're doing such a really awesome work of helping so
Thank you.
many young entrepreneurs, because most of Guna's coaches are young, filled with energy, filled with ideas. They don't have that kind of experience, probably. That's where Guna brings in that maturity, that experience, and he kind of really helps them uh, look at their business in a holistic way than just a great idea kind of a form.
Yes.
So thank you, Guna, and thank you. You've helped a lot of my own people whom I know in my circle, and you've been amazing. And thank you for being that.
Yeah, one more message which I want to tell the young entrepreneurs, young aspiring entrepreneurs especially. Like most of the clients whom I get, the inquiries I get, they always tell that I want to start a business and how much profit I can make from first month, third month. This is the question they ask.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand that businesses will take anywhere from 18 months to 24 months to start making profit, to break even, etc. And also they think if I have to start business now, I have to be a full-time entrepreneur. Not necessarily, actually, because I tell them you're going to experiment, you're going to test the idea which you have. Sometimes we are going to develop the idea, sometimes we are going to drop the idea and we are going to come up with a new idea. So don't be a full-time entrepreneur when you are in the initial stage, because you don't have that much of work. You can do something else and you can do. If you're already in a job, continue the job. If you're not in a job, you're a fresher, please look out for a job. Being in a job, you can also parallelly develop your business idea. And once we move to a certain level, then you can take it as full time. So these are few things, few myths they have about being an entrepreneur. So I just wanted to clarify using this interview, this platform for that.
Thank you, Guna. As always, you're a giver, and givers gain. And thank you for sharing such important, I mean, such meaningful information to our viewers, where you know that you can be an entrepreneur despite being in a job, but it's really how about how you play the entrepreneurial game. So thank you
Yes.
so much for that. Hey Guna, before you sign off, I really want to ask you one question, okay? If you if you were to really coach, okay, youth, youth, when I say, because I'm asking this question with an intention, because you became an entrepreneur at 18, and today I
Yes.
have
Yes.
a lot of people who are early entrepreneurs, okay, who would want to
Okay.
start the, getting into business maybe at around 2021. They're out of college in this. So if you would want to give them one piece of advice from you being there, done that, what would that be?
Okay. Initially, don't spend more money, rather spend more time on testing your idea. Don't spend more money before experimenting your idea, because you will burn that money and out of frustration you will go out of the entrepreneur dream, and you will never become an entrepreneur because it looks bitter for you, like the first experience is not good and I will never come back to entrepreneurship. So don't spend more money initially before even testing the model, testing the idea. So always play little with money, spend more time while testing the idea. This is what I
Right.
want to tell them.
Superb. What a beautiful insight from an entrepreneur who, from a young entrepreneur who turned to be running a business at the age of 80. Thank you so much, Guna. We honestly love to have you in the show. The kind of wisdom that you give is so much of value to our viewers. Thank you so much for making it today. And for the viewers out here, very soon going to give you an amazing insight. But before that, I just want to sign off, Guna, if that is okay. Hey, Guna,
Yeah.
thank you so much for making it today.
Thank you, Leila, and doing a fantastic job by bringing somebody on every Thursday evening and doing this Be Live, where viewers are getting tremendous value out of it, because otherwise they have to go learn about it. It is going to cost them time, energy, and money. But sitting at their place or using their mobile phone, they are getting a lot of value every Thursday evening, and you're doing a tremendous job, especially to the young entrepreneurs, because they are going to be the pillars of the nation, and they are guided in the right path through coaches like you. So kudos to
Thank
you
you
for
so
this
much,
fantastic
Guna.
platform.
Thank you so much. And to
Okay.
exactly help the young entrepreneurs that you mentioned, I'm running the Entrepreneurial You program on the
Wow.
23rd
Okay.
of this month along with Go Floaters. It's a co-working space. We are running it in Murphy Town here in Bangalore, and I extend this invite to all entrepreneurs to come and be out there. So it's all about being warriors. So it's, we might as well be the ninjas in that warrior world and kind of take the game of being an entrepreneur onto a different level altogether. So this is happening on the 23rd of this month. On my FB, you will see that I have shared the brochure. So please go ahead and register and be the ninja pruner out there. Yes, I mean it. Being the ninja pruner out there in the entrepreneurs world. This is the invitation. So go on and be a ninja pruner. Thank you so much, Kuna. Thank you for making it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, Leela. Bye.
Bye. Ah.